The Galactic Council chamber fell into its usual rhythm of diplomatic chaos. Representatives from 47 species argued, postured, and threatened in a cacophony of clicks, growls, and synthesized voices. At the center of it all sat the humans, 5 representatives from Earth, silent and observing. Commander Sarah Chen watched the Zephyrian delegate's tentacles flail dramatically as it accused the Korthan Empire of territorial violations. The Korthans, in turn, rattled their chitinous plates in what their species considered restrained anger. Meanwhile, the ethereal Veilnari floated above their seats, their translucent forms pulsing with colors that indicated deep philosophical disagreement with everyone present. For 3 standard years, humanity had attended these sessions. 3 years of listening to the same arguments, the same threats, the same posturing. 3 years of watching civilizations that had mastered, faster than light travel and energy manipulation, squabble like children over resources, territory, and pride. The humans had tried diplomacy. They had offered solutions, compromises, and innovations. Each time they were dismissed with polite condescension. Young species, they were called. Naive newcomers who don't understand the complexities of galactic politics. Today's session was no different. The hegemony of scales had just finished demanding tribute from 3 smaller systems, while the Crystal Confederation threatened economic sanctions against anyone who opposed their mining operations. In neutral space, the void-touched whispered about cosmic justice and the inevitable heat death of the universe, as they always did. Admiral Marcus Rodriguez, the senior human representative, leaned forward slightly. His weathered face remained impassive, but Sarah could see the tension in his shoulders. She had served under him for 2 decades and knew that look. The Zephyrian delegate was now accusing the human delegation of willful ignorance of established protocols for their continued objections to the proposed Resource Optimization Directive, a fancy name for allowing stronger species to strip mine the worlds of weaker ones. The humans, declared the Zephyrian, its voice carrying the harmonic overtones that indicated supreme arrogance, continue to demonstrate their species' fundamental inability to grasp the necessities of galactic order. Perhaps they should return to their small world and leave these matters to those with sufficient perspective. The chamber erupted in agreement from the major powers. Clicking, chittering, and harmonic approval filled the air. Several delegations turned to stare at the human table with expressions that ranged from mild amusement to outright contempt. Sarah felt her jaw clench. Beside her, Lieutenant Commander Torres's hand moved unconsciously toward where his sidearm would have been if weapons were permitted in the chamber. Even Dr. Yuki Tanaka, their most patient diplomat, had gone completely still. The Korthan war speaker stood, its massive form casting shadows across the chamber. The mammals speak of equality and justice, yet they possess no territory beyond their single system. They command no fleets capable of enforcing their ideals. They offer nothing but words and naive hope. Its mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among its kind. Perhaps it is time to formally acknowledge their limitations. More agreement rippled through the chamber. The smaller species representatives, those who would suffer most under the proposed directive, sat in resigned silence. They had learned long ago that objecting only brought attention they couldn't afford. Admiral Rodriguez slowly stood. The chamber didn't quiet. No one expected the humans to offer anything more than their usual futile protests. The Zephyrian was already moving to the next agenda item when Rodriguez spoke. Enough. The word was spoken quietly, almost conversationally, but something in its tone, perhaps the complete absence of emotion, perhaps the weight of finality it carried, cut through the noise like a blade through silk. The chamber fell silent. Rodriguez looked around slowly, making eye contact with every major delegation. For 3 years we have sat here. We have listened. We have offered alternatives. We have watched you divide the galaxy among yourselves, while the weak suffer and the strong take what they please. The Zephyrian delegate began to speak, but Rodriguez continued as if it hadn't made a sound. You call us naive. You call us young. You dismiss our objections because we control only one star system. His voice remained perfectly calm. You assume that because we choose diplomacy, we are weak. You believe that because we offer solutions instead of threats, we have nothing to back our words. The Korthan War speaker's mandibles clicked dismissively. Empty words from an empty species. You have no power here, human. Rodriguez smiled. It was not a pleasant expression. Dr. Tanaka, he said without looking away from the war speaker, please transmit the data package to all delegations. Every delegation's communication systems chimed simultaneously. Holographic displays activated across the chamber, showing star charts, technical specifications, and tactical assessments. The silence deepened as the implications became clear. 237 ships, Rodriguez continued conversationally, currently positioned at strategic points throughout the galaxy. Each one carries approximately 10,000 of our naive human marines. Each ship is equipped with technology you dismissed as primitive. The displays showed detailed scans of human vessels, ships that had somehow remained completely invisible to even the most advanced galactic sensor networks. Our primitive FTL drives are approximately 40% faster than your best technology, Rodriguez noted. Our crude weapon systems have a range and accuracy that would surprise you. Our simple defensive systems appear to be quite effective against your various energy-based weaponry. The Zephyrian delegate's tentacles had gone completely still. The Korthan War speaker's chitinous plates were no longer rattling. Even the void touched had stopped their eternal whispering. For 3 years, Rodriguez said, we have asked nicely. We have offered fair solutions. We have suggested that perhaps the strong should protect the weak instead of exploiting them. His smile never wavered. Today you made it clear that asking nicely was a waste of time. He gestured to the tactical displays showing human ships positioned near every major military installation, trade route, and population center in the galaxy. So let me be perfectly clear. The Resource Optimization Directive will not pass. The tribute demands will cease. The territorial violations will end. The exploitation of smaller species will stop. He paused. Today. The chamber remained frozen, in stunned silence. You may think of this as a threat, Rodriguez concluded, finally allowing steel to enter his voice. I prefer to think of it as setting boundaries. The vote on the Resource Optimization Directive was postponed indefinitely. Within a standard week, most territorial disputes had been resolved through suddenly urgent diplomatic negotiations. The tribute demands were quietly withdrawn. History would record this as the day humanity revealed its true nature to the galaxy. But those who were there would always remember it as the day a single human word changed everything. Enough.